Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another exciting rendition of Alpha Pro Series number 82 versus two amazing players, pardon me, Armani versus Astrea. So it is a battle of Korea versus North America, and this one should be very interesting as Armani actually just got out of a tournament. He was playing in base trade just 30 minutes ago, and did take that, obviously. Spoiler alert, he took down Psystorm's Epic. And we're just going to get the players into the lobbies here. And get these games started up for you guys, because I know you are all excited wherever you are in the world. So we should be hopping in very soon, just getting all the little details shouted out. But I hope you guys are having a fantastic evening, if it is evening. And if it is the middle of the day for y'all, then I hope you're having a fantastic day as well. A lot of good StarCraft going on today. And it is a pleasure to have you here for another couple of hours to watch some more epic games come out of these two. We are using the new map pool, so it'll be very fun to watch how these players have really started to adhere to a different playstyle on them. So we will be going with one of the more interesting ones first. We are going with Thunderbird LE. So what's special about this map is there are reduced mineral fields. There are only 5 minerals, which means workers clear them in 1 point. And with that, what that means is you open up new paths and new angles of attack very quickly just with 1 worker at a time. So obviously that will open up some new offensive capabilities, and we'll have to see how the players do react to such events. And so he is, we're just getting all the players again. Once again, you can kind of see it on the side window over there. And yeah, Armani just asking a couple of questions. While we get things underway. So, without further ado, like while we're waiting, we do got a couple of seconds here. I'd like to give our first shout out of the night to our sponsors in 24-hour fitness. Because where I am in the world right now, it is currently 1:30 a.m. But you know what? If this StarCraft match wasn't going to be happening, I could just go down to the local 24-hour fitness, build my own plan, and then at the same time, just go there, work out at any time. So that is an excellent thing, especially if you're like me and you love those late night ladder sessions. You need a little bit of a stress relief after them, so I just go and I crank out the weights there, and it's a really good thing. And by the way, you can have that same opportunity. They have a 7-day pass. You can check it out on the Matcherino page. You could also add a little bit of money to the prize pool in doing so. And with that, you know, you can get in shape, because being in shape is one of the best ways to increase your mental capacity. And as you guys know, StarCraft 2 is one of the most mentally taxing games in the world. So adding that little bit of help with adding that bodybuilding inside, it really makes it more fun to play. But by the way, enough rambling here, as we are going to be hopping into game number 1, like I said, on Thunderbird. Just a sec. So I would like to mention as well before we get things completely settled underway, one of the big things that will be happening is it's 2 games on NA and then 1 game on Korea. So without further ado, spawning up here in the top position, it is for Alpha X, Astrea. A very dominant guy, and he is looking to take on all of Korea, but he's going to have to get through him first. Spawning down here in the bottom. For Black Knights, it is Armani. And I just got confirmation that it is 1-to-1 in AKR. That makes things a little bit easier because it does make sure that players don't get too big of an advantage early on in the game. Thank you, Sushi, for setting me straight. But down here, you can kind of see what I was talking about with the alternating mineral pass. Each of these is worth 5. So if you take out 1 and 1, you can get some more aggressive attack patterns coming in. These are scattered all around the map, so that is a lot of ways. This is actually really cool because it's not like the defendable rocks where you have a little bit of time beforehand to kind of get your information or to open up the path. Now you can do so almost instantly. Does that favor either of these players? We will have to find out. But also, I did forget one thing. I do apologize. This is so unprofessional. But I forgot to set my hotkey, so I apologize for that. But here we go. Got a double hatch out here, so just a quick expansion out of Armani, trying to get that economic advantage early on. And we will have to see how aggressive he is going to be in this series, how fast he wants to get it done, because he has been playing StarCraft for a long time today, already taking out so many players in base trades tournament, and now going for a best of 9 series. That is just epic marathon playing here from Armani. We'll have to see if Astrea can catch him kind of sleeping at the controls here. We're going to be seeing a Stargate play coming out in a little bit of a hidden position. It's not too hidden here for Armani to find, but right now he's not really scouting for it. He can kind of assume that this will be some sort of play, macro play, since he hasn't seen too much out on the map just yet. Adept going to come in and try and see what he can get done, but this is mostly just for scouting. He wants to count the number of lings, really just kind of keep Armani home for right now with the small amount of units he has. Actually does commit to the blink, a little bit interesting there. Guess he did see a little bit of a window to actually get in there for more complete scouting information, but without getting any drones, he is going to just try and get out of there, as his second Adept will actually be meeting up and going for the drone line. Pretty good right now, getting 3 drones for their efforts. Not going to get a 4th. Will get taken out here. And that is a very good start for Armani. Now the Stalker actually going to go home. He's a bit of a misrally there. So now that he knows that the Adepts are out of the way, he feels more comfortable just kind of sending those lings out on the map. And he has just created vision for days here against his opponent. As the Oracle comes in, it almost gets taken out. Gets one of the drone kills. Not that big of a deal here. It really does want to get some more damage with that, as his buddy is going to be coming in. But Armani is going to be looking to put on a little bit of pressure on his zone. Just kind of force the wall to be defended, and actually going to get an Adept, a very nice little pick off here. The Oracle is going to be looking for damage of their own on the other side. Behind this, it's not going to be heavy Stargate play. He has transitioned into that Robo facility. So we should be seeing the next stage of his game. It will be some Warp Prism harassment, it looks like, as one of those Oracles does go down. It's all scouted out, getting that one Phoenix to try and deny as much information as possible. And actually just the fact that that robo facility is in this position, I don't think Armani has seen it just yet. He might actually get a sentry though. So just these small little pickoffs really can start to get into your head, especially in a matchup like PvZ. In this game, in this kind of style, both sides are pretty equal until the later stages of the late game. That's when you start to see kind of this overwhelming Zerg number if their economy is allowed to go unchecked. So Armani definitely doing a decent job of trying to prevent a lot of that. Even trying to bait some units into that stasis ward, but it is scouted out for the time being. Armani just staying on top of his scouting as well, making sure that he sees everything that is going on. Going to be trying to go for that third base, but the shield battery and the force fields will be enough to defend that for right now. And now here we kind of see that power up start to come out of our Protoss player. He is looking to hit timings a little bit later. He will have a lot of immortal play. He will have those zealots with their legs, their fancy legs. They definitely work out at 24-hour fitness themselves. And he will be looking to hit those kind of timings versus his opponent. Right? And deny his opponent from getting up to that epic drone count of 80. You have that infestation pit along the way as well. That will be finishing up pretty quickly here. You will be able to transition into Hive as soon as possible. Does have a couple of adepts here. He's not going in with them just yet, so either his attention is focused elsewhere, or he is waiting for something else. That Templar Archives did finish, and we actually did see in WCS in a fun play where he did drop a couple of adepts and then get some storm drops as well. You have Nidus Networks coming into play. Oh my gosh, he's going to be doing the Swarm Host Harass style, which is amazing. Does force you to stay at home for the most part and really makes it difficult to move out on the map, especially one as big as Thunderbird is. So we will see this little bit of a push becoming out. The Oracle just kind of trying to push his way around, keep the units occupied for the time being. The Nidus is going to be going down on the other side of the map, and the question is, how will Astrea respond to this? He's already lost 7 drones to all of this, or Armani has. That's not really enough here. The Swarm Hosts have popped, and it looks like for right now, Astrea is still not fully aware of the situation just yet. This looks like he's gathering up his units though, so he might be recalling home here pretty quickly. It's hard to see, but the Stasis Ward actually catching a lot of these Swarm Host eggs, and they do cool down here, it looks like, at a slower rate. That's actually a little bit weird. Yeah, everyone giving their shout outs to Astrea in the chat. Looking to take on the whole GSL, so you gotta give him your support if you're an Alpha X fan. And this is his first step right here. Armani is a GSL round of 32 player. And so far, it does look like Astrea is doing a pretty good job of making him run around and really taxing his micro ability. Gotta be careful though, those Swarm Hosts can absolutely decimate your GSL dreams in an instant here. Gotta say, loving the style here from Astrea. It's very annoying, and that is the best Protoss strategy to have. Just be as annoying as possible with your units, and then power up behind it. So far, everything seems to be going Astrea's way. He has a lot of map presence here, but Armani has not buckled under any pressure just yet. He has responded pretty well to everything. Even just losing those drones is starting to not be a huge deal for him, as he does get his multiple hatches up. making it a little bit easier for him. There we go. We did see opening up that new path. Going to be going for that 4th base behind all of this. No upgrades. Oh, actually, +2 attack versus no upgrades for Armani. So these units just doing so much more damage. It's all just really coming together. Well, not doing anything just yet. But does get plenty of kills here. Nothing really to defend against this. The Queen just now pressing fire on it. Swarm hosts. Again, just getting that damage. He already killed off the first Nexus. Now can he get the second? Going for it straight away. The Zealot's going to be warping in, but they are focus firing it. Will they get it? Yes. And that will hurt our Astrea for a little bit here, as he does struggle to reclaim that base. Doesn't have that many minerals in the bank just yet, and his mining was severely hurt. But on the other side of the map, he's just preventing that Spire from going up. He's forcing the drones off the line, killing off a couple of units as well right here. So everything is going pretty well. Even gets a nice little force field there, but those will get broken. The Swarm hosts gonna stop this from moving any further, but the storms, excellent storms going down, preventing a lot of those Swarm hosts from having full health. It's kind of the job of Storm, I realize. War Prism did go down during all of this. He's lost 2 so far in this game. But look at that. He is not deterred by that. He's got another one on the production tab, and he's going to keep up the style that he has chosen for this game. Modals doing a good job of attacking this army. Storms starting to come down, and they're starting to do some good damage as well. It's making it a little bit difficult for Armani to really chase or engage this. Takes another big one right in the face there. Everything is as it should be. PVZ in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen. Jam-packed with action. And I am loving these styles. Isn't that the guy that plays Doctor Strange? Probably. Storm drops coming down, killing off 11 drones. I think the War Prism went down during all of that, as in he will lose the High Templar as well, but that was an epic storm. Overseer just waiting to get into position for another one. As he drops a Nidus in the front, going for that 4th base once again, and Astrea has, for his part, stayed out on the map during all of this. He has not let Armani establish that defensive position in the front, and actually just a huge storm going to be going down, blanketing these roaches. A couple of biles taken there by the Immortals, but overall he is able to push this back. Astrea is currently still down in army supply. I thought he was up for a second. But so far, he's doing a pretty good job. The Mutalisks can't really engage into this. There's just way too many Archons. And Astrea just pushing this position, making it so difficult for Armani to actually engage into any of this. The Swarm House finally on cooldown, off cooldown here, so they will be able to help out. But there is so much splash damage in these Archons, in these storms. He's got a couple of storms, yes. And just overall, this is an overwhelming force here for Astrea. Locust going to come down, and will they get any pickoffs? They're actually doing a pretty good job here, but the Zealots clean them up, and there is still a lot with this force. There's a huge ball of Mutalisks here, but they're starting to get picked off little by little, trying to hotbox it, but unfortunately, they're still going down in absolute droves here. Now that the last Archon is gone, however, they do not have anything else that shoots up with this push. I think the Warp Prism actually did get taken down as well, so any reinforcements will have to go to the other side of the map. But Armani is just losing so much here. He'll be able to clean up the last of the Immortals, and yeah, all of those will go down, but he has lost 2 bases here. His income starting to falter quite heavily here. If you take a look at that income advantage, it's starting to swing quite heavily to Astrea's favor. The army size, very small for where we are in the game. Phoenix are going to have to be so careful with that ball of Mutalisks, as they can easily take out in one shot a Phoenix that strays too far. Now this isn't something new here for Astrea. He actually did see this versus TLO game number 1. And we'll have to see how will he react any differently here, because he does have a little bit more breathing room. Last time he didn't really have a lot and had to rely on Stalkers rather than Phoenix. So the Phoenix count, now that it's high, is pretty nice for him. It's already a good start. Although he did lose 13 workers during all of this, it's still a really low income game. Take a look at that worker supply. He's still ahead. That's never where you want to be as a Zerg player. I'm loving this game so far, and if this is any indication of what the series is like, we are in for the long haul and the great haul. Although he's got to be careful, does not want to lose those Mutalisks by moving over an army he can't defeat them with. Astrea is pushing once again, going to see the Phoenix ahead, but they will get taken out by Spore Crawlers if they're not careful. Trying to get a queen, not really going to happen for him in Australia. Actually gonna go here, go home rather. Armani though, still a little bit hesitant to say he's in a good position, mainly because he is still on 33 workers here, and our Astrea is just kind of skyrocketing ahead in that regard. Problem is, if Armani uses those larvae for workers, he's gonna be in a very bad position for the next fight. He doesn't really have that many roaches. He's got a couple of blinding clouds, a couple of abducts, so that's gonna have to help work for him. But the feedback's actually gonna crush his dreams in that regard for a little bit. And that is actually pretty painful here, because now he is gonna have to get home. And that, with Phoenix running around the map, that is a very difficult endeavor here for them. Even just hiding them here. Phoenix can start being annoying on the map, as the Mutalisks count not really as scary as it was Armani. He's taking it like a champ though, gotta say. He's really thinking he can win this game, and I respect that, because he is working his butt off to stabilize again. But Astrea does not look like he is gonna give him the time. Phoenix getting some lovely pickoffs before the fight even begins. Just waiting for one more big warp in, I believe, before he decides to go in here. Phoenix still being annoying. Trying to get across the map with the Mutalisks, but that's just asking for a lot. If he wanted to, he could clear out this position and allow some faster reinforcements from home if this War Prism goes down. But, here we go, Storm Energy for days. Roach Ravagers is all we got here for Armani. Storm's going to be going down, as well as those Biles, both sides just trying to get some damage done, but huge Storm's going to be going down on Armani's army, and he is going to have to back up from this position if he wants to take this fight. And so far, Astrea not pushing on to creep very far. He's just being very careful with his army. Parasitic Bomb's going to do some great damage to the Phoenix as well, but Armani just keeps trying to engage up that ramp, and there is still so much Storm energy with this, all of this. Ravager's even getting picked off by the Phoenix as well, so this is firmly firmly Astrea's fight, although he is going to back off for right now because he does feel that there is still too much here for Armani. Tries to get those Ravagers morphing in. They must be thanking their lucky stars that they survived that. Now this is a good move from Armani. He really does want to pull the army back for Astrea. Astrea says, nope, I don't care. Your army's gone, and it's up to you to respond. Great storms going down on all of those drones. Going to try and prevent the base trade as much as possible. Armani doesn't actually have enough for a hatchery just yet. He is going to recall home. And just pick off this army that is actually divided right now. The Zealots doing a good job on this side, and the rest is going down. GG. And what a game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. That was just one game. Guess what? We got a potential 8 more after that. So, great start to everything. And now we are going to be alternating to... 1 second, guys. Yeah, so we are going to be alternating to the Korea server. Make sure I have all my settings correct here. Do indeed. But yeah, good start to the series. Astrea just being dominant for most of the game. Just doing a very good job of making sure that Armani could not replenish his supply in terms of getting those drone counts back up. That's really what you got to do against a Zerg player. Prevent them from getting very far. Next map is going to be a classic from last season, King's Cove. It will be Armani's pick, so we'll have to see what his strategy is going to revolve around on this one. Just waiting for the map. And actually, it does look like Armani is going to request a small break, and I mean, he's been playing a lot. So we will be heading on over to a small commercial break. So we will see you guys in just a second while Armani does a little bit of a bio. So we will see you guys in just a sec. Just a quick update, Armani did have to go to the restroom. Like I said, has been playing a lot today, and you know, it does take it out of you, these long playing sessions. Yeah, so we're just waiting on him. He did select his map before he went, so we're all hanging out in the lobby, as you can see, over this way. Just waiting for his return. But yeah, that was an epic game number 1. A little bit of speculation in the chat, and you're right, he did miss a little bit of a timing with those swarm hosts. He did do some great damage versus Astrea, really hurt his economy quite heavily by taking out those 2 Nexi. But unfortunately, he was not able to capitalize on that. Captain Canuck asking, what is my favorite food? My favorite food is whatever I cook, because I pretend like I am an awesome chef. Now, I make a good chicken curry, but oh, don't get me hungry before the next one, Captain Canuck. Otherwise, this game will be I'll be making food puns the entire game, and that's not Gouda for anyone. Armani actually has come back, so we will be getting him into the lobby, and we will get starting right about now. So I'll put the question back on the chat. What's your guys' favorite food? Like, do you like eating after a StarCraft match, or do you like eating before? Yes, please. All right. So we will be hopping into game number 2 on King's Cove. So spawning down here in the bottom position, representing the Black Knights, it's our blue Zerg player, Armani. And his opponent, his opponent in the top. He's currently up a game and looking to extend that lead to all of Korea. It is Astrea. A man with big dreams. This is his first step in his goal to take on the entirety of Korea in the GSL. He's currently, I believe he said recently he was raising money for it, and I know his team Alpha X is helping him out to achieve that goal. But currently he has a lot of promise here. Armani is a GSL round of 32 player. And I think he would have gone a little bit further. Unfortunately, he did hit Maru, and Maru just kind of crushes some dreams in that regard for GSL. But it is a pretty good start here. Now that Armani's on his home server, he will have that ping advantage. And we'll have to see if he can capitalize on that, because ping can be the biggest killer of StarCraft dreams in the world. If you've ever had a unit not attack move about 30 seconds after you selected it, then you know the struggle, you know the pain. We'll be seeing once again a very quick second hatch. He's just making sure that he can get that economy up, being nice and safe with it. He's got his spawning pool done already, and he will be able to start pumping out those lings and drones, or lings and queens. So he's feeling pretty safe with his build right now, it looks like. Might be seeing that starport once again. The positioning here, this is more of a PVT positioning, just because this is one of the locations where the Reapers can get into the main base, I believe. So it's not really meant to be hiding anything. Although we have seen that Astrea does like his Stargate based plays. Last game he didn't really stick with the Stargate, so He didn't really get too much done with it until the end there when he started pumping out the Phoenix to take care of the Mutalisks. But overall, we're going to see what these two bring to the table here, as Astrea is going to be doing the same thing as last game. Double Adept, he will be warping this one in. Cancels it this time, though. Does not want to take too much damage on it. Just hanging out between the natural and the third base. This second Adept actually going to be going home here. Wall's not complete either here. I don't think this is a mistake from Astrea, but he's got to be careful there because just a big swell of Lings would have ended his game very, very quickly. And actually, that's what we're seeing. A small swell of Lings going to be moving across the map once again. Overlord getting taken out will supply block him for a little bit. That's going to be a costly this early in the game, as you do need to remake 2 of those Overlords to get back into even supply. But Armani, not feeling the sting just yet. He's sending out his Lings once again to get some good scouting information. He's going to be just dividing them out on the map. The Queens are in position once again for the Oracles, Spore Crawlers as well. Last time, Astrea almost lost this, but this time it looks like he's going to be bringing an escort. What this Phoenix is really meant to do is lift up the Queen so he can just get in there, but with 2 Queens on the battlefield. Yeah, there we go. He's going to start getting 2 workers. A nice start to it, but he would honestly like to get a little bit more done with this because it is a bit of a commitment. This time, actually, he's going to be going for that double Phoenix style. Once again, we're going to be seeing that Roach Warren out of Armani as well. He's going to do what he can with those. Roach is a very powerful force, but they do have one little problem versus Stargate by play. They're kind of like the Marauder. They don't actually shoot up. Bios don't count because technically they shoot up, but it comes back down. But behind this, he is just droning up nice and quickly. Nice little snipes here, but this does reveal to Armani that this is Stargate play. And he knows that he's heavily committing to it, so he's actually going to send his Lings across the map and try and get some damage done. Not a lot here for Astrea. It's a good position, so he's going to be trying to keep those units alive as much as possible. The Adept is really all he has here once that force field goes down. But he will get the cancel on that third base on the other side of the map. The Phoenix not getting any damage done. The Queens are just in a perfect position right now, so already a much better start here for Armani. And Astrea is going to be picking up that gateway count as well, trying to keep pace with the production. Not really going to be getting in there anytime soon, even if that Zealot goes down. A couple of Warpins and the Force Fields are available. And the Phoenix, actually he has stopped Phoenix production, by the way, guys. So he's looking to transition out of this. He committed a lot to it, but right now it actually feels like he's making the right decision to go into a different tech style. I would like to see a Templar Archives here soon because Hydralisks absolutely melt to storm-based play, and Archons are very good for splash damage. But he has forced a very big commitment out of Armani as well with this. Although he is now stuck at 2 bases for the time being. That's going to hurt his income a little bit here as that Changeling just going to hang out with the guys. Getting good damage done with these Phoenix, but has to be careful not to lose them because he is not replacing them anytime soon. He's going to get caught out on the map, but they will win the day here as he goes for that third base once again, getting that charge out legs. So he's just powering up behind all of this. He doesn't want to be too aggressive and overstay his hand. He does see that Storm is going to be chrono boosted out here. The Hydra's count is getting pretty scary here. If we take a look at that army supply, it's currently pretty even. Hydralisks are pretty good out on the map, but once you get that Storm, that's when Armani really starts to lose track of the game. It makes it so much more difficult to engage into the Protoss army. So he's on a bit of a timer here with these units. Wants to pick off the War Prism, but actually not going to get it. Even the Queens getting off the nice safe creep just to try and chase it down. He's very scared about what will happen. As we did see, Astrea does like those storm drops. He actually did a lot of damage with them in the last game. Good transition out of this for Armani. He is going to be getting those lurkers because he does expect there to be charge lots right after this. The one thing that does melt it to, pardon me, if one thing that does melt charge lots is the fact that they cannot kill lurkers very quickly. And everything is looking to be just kind of a bit more passive here. Just Astrea are going to go across the map with these Phoenix and not really commit to any kind of push just yet. Same with Armani. He doesn't really feel comfortable just yet. Storm is complete, so he has to be much more careful with this army. It's very squishy. And he's just powering up, getting those tech structures to prepare for the engagement. Armani, however, can't really go too far off of creep. Those Banelings trying to get some work done. Storms doing a lot of damage to him, but they do take off a lot of HP off a lot of those Zealots. So Astrea will be backing up through all of this. The Phoenix actually catching a nice glimpse of all of these Overlords, and I wonder what's going on here. Oh no, Astrea having a little bit of a lag issue here. That can happen when you're going cross server, unfortunately for him. Who's gonna wait just a second? Yeah, this might be the way Armani wins it. Just lags his opponent out. Like, honestly, that is a pretty cool strategy. And yeah, just a small problem with the internet. As you all know, North America does not have the best internet. And we are going to get a 3-2-1 back into game. Captain Canuck starting us off as these Overlords starting to get picked off, trying to get to the safety of the Spore Crawlers. And sending a couple of Hydras to deal with this. Trying to get a little bit of a run by here, but the army is in position during all of this. It does see that it is coming, and so Armani won't really get a lot done with this, but this is kind of just a feint here for this main attack, as we have the Talons coming in. The Lurkers actually get a good position, get a nice hit off on those Zealots. Templar can't get too close here, or they are going to get taken out. Needs to spread them out, however, or else he's going to be in a world of hurt with all of this. Baneling run by in the second, wasting a lot of Storm energy actually on these small little run-bys, and Armani actually sets up an amazing position for himself. Even the Banelings just going to take out the reinforcements warping in. It's going to be difficult for him to move up, however, but doesn't even matter. GG is called. Armani taking game number 2 to start the series off right. So we're going to be hopping back over to the America server here to get game number 3 started, it will be Armani's, or Astrea's pick rather, as I'm gonna have to apologize, guys, because I am definitely gonna be confusing their names all night just because they both start with A. But we're gonna grab these guys up, see what Astrea picks, and we are gonna get onto another exciting map. And I hope you guys are enjoying this series as much as I am, because this is absolutely epic so far. Uh, sorry about the background noise. It's the Stepman portrait. Just making a lot of racket, making it hard to concentrate. Looks like all we're missing here are the players, actually, as we have all the support staff ready and raring to go here. There they are. But yeah, really good way to see how Armani changed up his style from game number 1 to kind of catch his opponent off guard with all of this. And now we are going to be going to another old map, New Repugnancy. So we'll have to see what Astrea's plan is, because this is his pick. Foe here, 1 second. Turns out Astrea is actually not at home. Okay, so we're going to be sticking with NA from now on. Apparently Astrea is on a road trip, so his internet is not good enough to play on Korea. It does look like Armani has agreed to the request, and now we're just waiting on Armani to come on over so that we can get game number 3 started up on New Repugnancy. Couple of things about this map. It's got a congested center, so it'll be very difficult to move these larger armies, which can happen in this matchup. You get those Protoss and Zerg death balls at either second, at any stage of the game. And you do have some other attack routes that you can open up with the rocks. A bit less creative than Thunderbird's approach, but still around. And Armani needed another break here for just a minute. So I'm going to take... just a sec to update what is going on here. And yeah, hope you guys are having an excellent day. I'm seeing a lot of guys from Korea in the chat. So I hope you guys are enjoying this series as well. Yeah, this is one of the small problems with server switching. Sometimes you lose a player, sometimes you gain a player. You don't even know where they come from sometimes. They just kind of appear out of nowhere. And sometimes they just disappear without a second like without a second thought. It can be a little bit harder to track them down sometimes. So that's kind of what's going on right here. Armani's saying he's a little bit ill. uh, all right, so he is back. So Armani actually playing sick. He's actually playing very well because being sick can hurt you a little bit in that regard, but he's taking it like a champ, even playing as much as he has today. So we're gonna get him on the lobby. I swear to you guys, we do have more StarCraft today. It's not just the talk like a buffoon hour here. Yeah, he's coming in right about now, so should be getting the go-go. Got both sides a bit of a go-go. And here we go on new repugnancy. Between two epic players. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for, spawning in the top position, it is our blue Protoss, Astrea. And his opponent at the bottom left, it is our red Zerg, Armani. So far in this series, we haven't seen really too much craziness out of either side. Both sides just kind of playing very standard play, making sure that they don't really show off too many builds here, because these guys might be facing off in the future if Astrea hits his goal of playing in the GSL Armani. Remember, he is a round of 32 GSL player, and he has shown that he can make it to that next level. So you don't want to show him too much here as Astrea, as the guy coming up. And so far it seems to be working for Astrea. He's not losing these games in convincing fashion. The one game he did lose was very standard. Excuse me, not standard, but it was very even, to say the least. So this time, however, Armani is not going for that third hatch very quickly. Instead, going to be staying on the standard 2 base, as the wall off is fully complete here for Astrea. Even just trying to get a little bit of a glimpse into what is the game plan here. Keeping close tabs on any army that comes out on the map. But he will get pushed away. As once again, we're going to be seeing that first adept coming out. Bit of a change here as we have a second stalker rather than another adept. So that will signal that this is not going to be Stargate play once again. This is going to be robotics facility. So we might be seeing Immortal, like we can be seeing a lot of things off the back of this. We can see Immortal drops. If he wanted to throw down a Twilight Council very quickly here, he could probably get in Archon drops at a good time. But yeah, we'll have to see how many, what he's going to be popping out here, and it is going to be that Warp Prism. So get your Micro Prisms ready, boys, as we have got a Micro God on our hands. Got out of there with not even a little bit of scratch on the paint, as this Oracle, or Overlord rather, gonna be coming in, and he really does want to get the scout off on that Robo and know that the game plan has changed for Astrea. So far, he's actually not going to be pushing his luck here, as he does see the Stalker out here picking off his buddy. So being very cautious here, that might actually hurt him if he doesn't know that this is Robo play. The only indicator that this is not a Stargate here is the fact that no Stargate units have come across the map, but that might not be enough to know what exactly the game plan is. You really do want to get that Overlord in there and get some good information out. But we are going to be seeing the drops start up. We got the Roach Warren and the Lair starting up for Armani at the same time as the past couple of days. Or games rather, not days. And once again, the Overlord going to be coming out here. Astrea actually is looking to be very aggressive in this game, as he does not want to see these. He does not want to get these 4 gateways scouted out, but the Tickle Cannon's not able to take him out just yet. He does see 2 of those go down. He has not seen the other 7 on the way. So Armani, if he's not careful, he will be blindsided by this huge push coming across the map. He's getting out roaches, which is a good start to everything, but we'll have to see if he makes enough by the time this gets across the map. A couple of pickoffs on these Lings as well, not really helping Armani's case, but what Armani really wants to do with these is try and force defensive warp-ins at home, but there is enough to stop this, so he won't even be able to get in there as this force pushes across the map. Astrea was saving this up for a rainy day, and now the rainy day has come. Zealots going to be warping in huge numbers here. The force field's going to be trying to pick off small chunks of this unit count as well, but Armani just doing whatever he can to delay this as long as possible. Delayed it so long that Astrea even has time for another warp-in. So far, being very cautious is Astrea. Does not want to push in just yet, wants to be very careful on when and where he does so. Great Prism Michael right now, just kind of juggling those Immortals into the backfield. And a little bit of a surround here set up by Armani. Did get taken out way too quickly, it kind of jumped the gun. But the repositioning is good enough, the creep is spread far enough to where Astrea doesn't feel like he can actually pull anything off with this, so he is going to be switching into Disruptors. Those are the play units. If you can make a play with those, you're going to break this game wide open. The question is, will Armani give him enough time, and will Armani not be paying attention long enough to get those big time shots? That is the big question right now, as he is going to be moving across the map with an attack of his own. Has to be careful though. He can't get up that ramp very easily. Not wasting his force field energy is Astrea. Those vials coming down. So far, one good shot off with the Disruptor, and this push is going to be pushed back for right now. Armani just going to go straight home now that he knows Disruptors are in play. So far with this, there still is no third base out of Astrea. He's fully all in with this right now. Really wants to get some damage done. Ling's going to try and get a small bit of a surround here and force the reinforcements to get picked off. Almost got that disruptor. That would have been huge pick off here, as that is a huge commitment, but going to go straight for the natural base. Wants to be careful with the disruptor shots as he pushes in. But so far, it's pretty much just a positioning game here. Armani is in a really good concave down the ramp, so you can't really push into it. So Astrea wants to force him to bunch up like this. It's a couple of the Ravagers, so a nice start to the engagement. But it is taking a lot out of him, saving so much time for Armani. One force field, one queen. Not the best of trades here. Definitely not what you want, but this is going to prompt Armani to pounce on all of this. The Lings actually get cut off from their brethren. The reinforcement point not actually pouncing on anything, just waiting for those Banelings to morph in, but they are off of creep without speed for a couple more seconds. Looking to get the full surround is Armani. And he's actually not going to pull the trigger just yet. Instead, going to go straight for those disruptors. Does not get them. So all these small pickoffs that he's trying to get haven't really been working out for him. The force field's very good. The bio's very good as well. So this engagement is going quite well for both sides. But unfortunately, there can be only one. And right now, it's very difficult to see who's winning it. But Astrea actually going to push through. Armani being the first to blink in that situation. Just a jam-packed game full of action right now. Oh, some very nice force fields. Not able to connect on all of those units just yet, though. Disruptor's going to be moving forward as well. He's trying to get into this third base. Gets one shot off, two shots off. Baneling's going to get some nice connections on a lot. Kills off one of the disruptors. The next warp in is going to be Stalkers here trying to help out. Versus all of these roaches. Banelings taking out a lot of that shield energy on the Immortals. And it doesn't look like there is enough here to defend. It's going to be up to the Lings and a couple of roaches coming out. But he's losing so many drones to all of this. Next warp in, however, is going to help him out a bit. There's not enough Ravager Bios to take out that War Prism. But that's looking to be it here for Astrea and Armani in this game. Number 3. Astrea just going to be continuously pushing up the ramp here. Not that much from Armani to stop him, however. And GG is called. Astrea taking game number 3 and putting himself into the lead in this series. Now it is Armani's turn to pick the map. We're going to see what he selects here. And you know, talking about selections, we got a bunch of great sponsors for today. One that gives you the great selections as well, GameStop. GameStop has always brought power to the players, and now it's bringing that same power to esports legends. If you want to find out about coaching opportunities from some of the top teams in all of esports, go ahead and check them out on the Matcherino page. It adds 50 cents just to visit the GameStop website. They really do give you a good bang for your buck. So go ahead and check them out, and check out the rest of the sponsor quests here. They're pretty easy stuff to do, and they add a little bit of the prize pool. So if you want to support Armani, if you want to support Astrea, both of these guys are going to get a little bit of money from this, and you can make that prize better for free. And that is the best price in the world. Armani actually chose Thunderbird, but that was game number 1, so we will not be going back to that just yet. And instead, it is going to be Acropolis, one of the new maps in the pool. Must admit, I actually have not seen this one just yet, so I am pretty excited to see how this will play out. Just going to get into the lobby here pretty quick. Also not going to tap into game because that noise of Stepman is actually pretty annoying. And we should be getting underway here pretty darn quickly. Okay, so I'm looking at the map description right now. It's talking about how this is a smaller map for macro play. Got a little bit of an easier third base to acquire and protect. And it is encouraging middle of the map play for a direct conflict early game. So this actually should be pretty interesting. Actually, we're just going to hop right into it. Right about now. So spawning up here in the top position, it is Armani. His opponent. In the bottom, it is Astrea. Both sides giving us some very excellent gameplay tonight, and we still have a lot of games to go. So let's take a look at this map here. This is one of the main defining features they were talking about, is this big middle base location. What this middle location does is it encourages middle of the map play, especially in the early game. It does have a couple of more roundabout paths, but those take a long time to get around, and you can only shorten them a little bit by getting rid of those rocks. So once again, we're going to be seeing some pretty standard openings from both sides here. Neither side deciding to kind of take the quick and easy win. These guys are giving each other a lot of respect in that regard. They're not really going to be testing anyone's micro at the time being. And Armani going to be going for that third hatch once again. Will the probe get there in time? It looks like he is just in time. And I will be denying that third hatch for quite a bit. Keep in mind, however, this is an easier to defend third, so that will favor the Zerg early on getting that, because he will be able to mine off it for much, much longer and have a much easier time defending it. Oh, actually did not take it. He ran out of minerals. So that will go down. Astrea not going to contest that anymore. One thing we're actually seeing different here, he's going for a Zealot to finish off the wall, so maybe feeling that there might be some aggression coming out of Armani on this map. No, actually, he is just going to move out with that and try and get some damage done early. This will set him up for the Stargate play once again, as he will be looking to take advantage of all the little nooks and crannies on this map. Armani actually out of position there a little bit. Has to get back into it. Actually sending a lot of units across the map now, just now returning home. So that is a little bit interesting here. Don't think he really wanted to commit too heavily with that in the first place. Armani keeps moving his overlords as well. That's kind of interesting that he's not going to keep it in the little position right there where it can't actually be seen. He might be a little bit worried about getting picked off by these Stargate units. But Armani is going to get a pretty good scout around here. Going to go straight down the middle of the map with a small handful of lings once again. So feeling pretty confident in himself. He's going to start attacking the wall. Force field going to go down and actually forces some of the lings in. So that is a big mistake for Astrea because these guys can now scout out what is going on. Does get picked off by the Oracle, but that does lessen the amount of energy it has for the next follow-up here. And 3 more are going to be coming in, and the Oracle can't defend this just yet. This is heartbreaking for Astrea a little bit. It's not a game ender, but it's certainly going to get into your head a little bit as a Protoss player. So that was pretty funny. Behind this, he's actually not going to be going for a follow-up Phoenix or a second Oracle. He's instead just going to drop down more stages of tech. We'll have to see how aggressive he is going to be with this change-up, as he is going for his third base and looking to defend that as well. Seeing that Nidus play come out of Armani, we saw it be taken to great effect with the Swarm hosts in on Thunderbird, but so far he does not have that infestation pit down, so might be looking to just go straight up with the queens and roaches and the lings here. And yeah, he is setting up for it. What does he have in position though? Does not look like he actually has vision of his opponent other than this guy, but if you drop it anywhere there, you're gonna have full vision of it. He's just gonna drop it at outside the third base position and push in from here. This is very difficult for Astrea to defend, as all of these queens just pop out. The lings only popping out one at a time, however, so he might wanted to have waited a second to get all of those together. He'll start the attack, but so far Astrea not pushing too far forward against this, being very careful with this. A second Night Swarm is actually going to pop out in the main base as well, and this is the big damage dealer for Armani. He's looking to take game number 2 with this tricky play. And the force field's pretty good at forcing all of this back, but now he's just going to move into the main base as the whole army is at the third and has to walk all the way back, even going to catch all of these stalkers. Delays stim, delays +1, delays the immortal, and that is going to delay the win here as Astrea loses to Armani game number 4. This is a series, guys. This is actually the best Alpha Pro series I have seen in a long time. And these two really battling it out here, very evenly matched. So we're going to have to see what he decides for game number 5, as he has now lost the lead in the series twice to all of this. And Cyber Forest is going to be the next map in the pool. Just going to get that all set up for another epic game. Yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying this series as well. If you like it, you can obviously check out Alpha X SC2 right on here on Africa TV. They do this kind of stuff all the time, and they also do it over on Twitch, I believe. So they're all over the place, just hosting events for all sorts of different skill levels, from lower level GM, higher level GM. They do a lot of stuff within their clan too. You can check out their Discord for more information there. And we are hopping into it. All players are in the lobby. And we're going to head on back to the Forest of Mech. And I'm only saying that because it's a cyber forest. There are no meching players here. If we saw a mech, I would be very surprised. And if we saw a mech, we would have to restart the game because these guys are not Terran players. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen, spawning in the top position. It is Armani. And his opponent. In the bottom, it is Astrea. So we have yet to see the hatch go down. He's finally going to send the drone for all of that. So once again, just nothing too crazy in the early stages of the game. Neither side really going to show anything too early on. As we get further and further in the series, we might start seeing more stuff like the last game with the Nighty Swarm. Because that seems to be Armani's bread and butter in this series. He's already done it for 2 games, and they have both. It kind of worked out well for him. Even though he lost game number 1, he did do a lot of damage with the Nighty Swarm play. But Armani, you know, he's been around the scene for a while. And overall, that kind of experience has really helped him out, especially in Legacy of the Void. Like, he's pretty much seen everything, and creating his own style like this is really good for him because it has pushed him pretty far in the scene. Whereas Astrea, you know, I must be honest, I don't know too much about him. I do know that he does have those big GSL dreams like a lot of foreign players. But I'll have to see if he can actually make those work. So far, he is doing a good job versus this GSL style player. And there's still a lot of games to go tonight, so it's pretty much battle of fatigue here. Armani, he's a little bit ill, and he has actually been playing a lot today, so he's really battling the clock in terms of how quickly he can get this done before he has to pass out and go to sleep and kind of rest off his illness. Whereas Astrea, I don't know how much he's been practicing for this, how much he's been preparing for it, but so far he is showing that he has prepared for a long time. He really is sussing out his opponent as well. Just getting those plays that pushing Armani for a loop, and one thing Armani is going to be trying to do here is swell some lings and get around. As the Adept is going to come home to defend the Stalker, going to get picked off here. Not really wanting to warp in too much else. Actually has to be a bit careful here through all of this. Doesn't want to lose too much to that Adept. But the pylon is going to go down. That's going to lay warp gate for 2 seconds, or 1 second rather. And actually, this is starting to do a lot of damage to these buildings. He really wants to get in here. Behind this, he has put down a couple of drones. So this is not all in by him, but if he gets warp gate, that would be a huge pickoff. He's got 4 seconds to do it, and he actually denies it. Oh, man. Armani is starting to sweep through here. Getting that cancel on the warp gate is actually pretty huge for what Astrea was planning. That was the pivotal part. So far, he hasn't been able to break through just yet, but he's looking like he might in just a couple of seconds here. There's only so much Astrea can throw down, and these Immortals don't really do the job versus all of this. Last gate is going to go down here. One is going to come up in his place, but is it in the right position is the big point here. Armani is taking a lot to this as well, however. One thing to note is he has not pushed out any more drones with all this. He looks to be completely all in for it. But he is actually going to break through here. The Immortals need to be careful here. The probes pulled to defend. They're going to start falling. The floodgates have not really opened just yet. It's more of a little bit of a trickle here for Armani. He is going to get one of these Immortals, but now that there are 3 out and shield batteries, I think Astrea has held this. Yeah, Armani does have to back up here and re-bring together his forces. And he's just going to tap on out. That was his big play for this game. GG is called. So Armani got a little bit desperate there in the end, but overall he did stick with it, which is fantastic for him. Unfortunately, it did not work out in this game, but it almost did. That is the key point there. That it almost worked. Just a couple more seconds and he would have been able to bust through everything. So we do have 2 maps left before we start to cycle through. It is going to be Cairo and Turbo Cruise 84. I don't know what that is a reference to. It's probably talking about a style of car. Just because the 84 relates to a car when you're talking about turbo cruising. But we should be getting underway here pretty soon. Yep, just gonna hop into the lobby, get everything set up. And here we go. Gonna be hopping into Turbo Cruise, one of the newer maps. Again, I haven't really had that much experience with it just yet. So this will be really fun, and this is actually the map with the inhibitor zones. Which does mean that any kind of direct attack is gonna be a bit of a hassle to get through. But these guys are loading in. So let us hop right into it. Get the stuff taken care of first. Spawning. In the bottom position, he's currently down 3-2, does not want to go to match point. It is Armani. And his opponent needs 2 games to close it out. Can he get them, or will Armani fight back? It is Astrea. Now, just a little bit about this map. You can kind of see it here when this guy goes through. These inhibitor zones are really going to slow down any kind of push across the map. You can take out those rocks to get a better concave. But my big question is, why would you attack into any of that? One sec, guys, sorry. So yeah, the direct attack, not really going to work out too well. You're going to need a super fast army to get around any of that, but overall, the other side, once again, just no big cheesy maneuver, just all ins. The Astrea gonna finish up that wall pretty quickly here. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of trouble with my voice. Alright, there we go. But once again, Astrea going to be going for the fast 3 hatches. While Armani rather is going to be going for those fast 3 hatches. And Astrea is just going to be powering up at home. Once that Cyber Core is complete, will it be Robo or will it be Stargate? Honestly, Stargate play would be a little bit better on this map. Just because you can get around those inhibitor zones that way. But it will be Robo style play. How aggressive is he going to be with this is the big question now. We know what he's going for. And we just got to see what he's going to do behind it. Even the Adept having some trouble getting on through there. It will be Twilight Council behind this. A bit late for DTs, so it probably will not be that. But an Archon drop is still pretty much in the making here, if he so chooses. With that Twilight Council, we'll just have to see if he throws down the Templar Archives behind it in order to get some damage done in that manner. The good thing for Armani, however, in terms of that kind of playstyle is he has been going for roaches at a pretty standard time. But this is actually a pretty big scout here for Armani, seeing the charge lot research upgrading as well as the Immortals popping on out. So will he cancel it is the big question. It does not look like it. So this is what he's going to be going for. This is going to prompt Armani to kind of be a bit more aggressive out here on the map. He just wants to see what's going on out here. Otherwise, he's going to be in a world of hurt, as we do see the 7 gateways coming down here. Will he throw down the other ones as he gets the minerals for him? Is the big question here. He will be stopping at 6 for the time being, just because he doesn't really have the money for it, but he will be hopping out on the map with those Immortals in the Prism. So once again, guys, we're going to be seeing a very aggressive play style out of Astrea. Worked out well for him in New Repugnancy. We'll have to see if he has the same luck. Banking up those minerals ready for the warp in. Gonna just juggle these Immortals a little bit here, however, to start things off. Does not want to warp into a bunch of roaches. But here we go. You can't fight through that temporal field. You'll have to go around if you're going to do anything. So just fighting up the ramp here. A good little play here by Armani, making sure that he fought on the right side of the map. But fighting off a creep, the Zealots actually going down pretty quickly here. The next Warpin's coming in, but so far Astrea being a bit more aggressive than the last time, and it's not really working out for him. Mortals, however, just do so much damage. It's helping out versus those roaches. Gotta wait for another cooldown here before you can get anything done. And he will be powering up, getting as many of these Zealots as possible before moving on in. But there is a huge concave here for Armani. He's defending it a lot better than he did in the previous game with this, and actually will force Astrea all the way back. Astrea, though, he's all in with this. He doesn't have the money for a third Nexus. He's got to just keep going, trying to pick off as many units as possible. The juggling pretty nice, gonna keep both of those immortals alive, but there's just not enough support here in terms of those zealots. And he just can't warp them in fast enough to keep up with Armani's production. If he added in some force fields, it might be a bit better for him, but so far, again, just not being able to get the pickoffs he needs. Mortals just barely getting out of there with their lives, but good juggling right there. As these two are just pretty much battling for this position a lot right now. Got one good transfuse on the spine crawler before it falls, but once again, Armani is gonna push him back. The Immortals bringing up the rear to defend, but so far it's no harm, no dice for him. Gonna just keep trying to pick off as many units as possible here. Being very cautious not to go too far on that creep. But with all the energy he's losing on these Immortals, every little bit of health hurts him much more heavily, because he does not have any more on the way. It actually is going to transition into double Stargate behind this. That is a bit interesting, because I don't think he'll be going for any Phoenix. I think instead he will be deciding to go for a Void Rays to help out with any kind of push while he does back off for the time being. Keeping those Immortals out on the map as well is going to prevent Armani from moving across it. But once again, he's just going to move out with this big swell of Zealots. Maybe even trying to bait Armani out so that he's not able to defend as easily. Cancels on the 4th base location. Going to recall everything at home once he knows the situation. And yeah, both players just looking to tech up behind all of this, but Astrea's in a bit of a rough spot here. It's going to be very difficult for him to get back into this game, especially just going double Oracle like he is. Although to his credit, Armani doesn't really have a lot that can shoot up. So these two couple of Oracles are going to come in, get a good read on all of the army, but unfortunately they're going to get stuck in that temporal field. Get a little bit more health shaved off of them as Astrea once again comes across the map. Looking for one big final push here, it looks like. If Armani's smart, he is going to just catch it as it comes through the inhibitor field. And yeah, he is ready for it. On the other side, the Hydra is starting to pop out as well, so these Oracles just lost all their effectiveness. GG is called, and once again we're tied up. 3-2-3. That leaves one map in the pool before we go to the before we cycle through again. Might actually have the first full best of 9 here for Alpha Pro series. I don't think there's actually has been a series that went the full 9 before. But we will be hopping into it. Last map, guys, if you don't know it, it is Kairos Junction. Got something screaming outside. Got some big old bugs coming on around, so if you guys hear any of that, I don't know actually how much you can hear. Here we go once again, ladies and gentlemen. It is Kairos Junction for this PVZ extraordinaire. Astrea versus Parting. Okay, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. I haven't watched too many of them because they're on at a weird time for me. Okay, so it seems to be Astrea who goes the full best of 9 then, if it was him and Parting. So that is good to know. So spawning up here in the top position, looking to take that away from him. It is Armani. His opponent. On this side, it is our blue Protoss, Astrea. Currently tied up at 3-all. We are in game number 7. And it's Kairos Junction. One of those maps that you see a lot in the smaller series, but when it comes to best of 7s, it tends to go a little bit further down in the map selection, as a lot of players are comfortable with it by now. And Australia once again going to see that there isn't too much here that'll trip him up. He just wants to get it confirmed that no early game cheeky shenanigery is going on before he throws down his own Nexus at a pretty standard time. So once again, just standard play out of both sides. Maybe looking to power up in this game as well, but tech choices are going to make or break it. But once again, we do see Armani going for that faster third. And it really has helped him a lot in terms of getting that mineral count up, as well as getting a good amount of larva and other macro mechanics for the Zerg. Just doing a good job of defense, really, in that last game. So will he be able to continue that trend? So once again, it is Roboplay Astrea. Will he be going for the same thing, or is this going to be more of a macro style? Somehow I kind of doubt that Astrea is going to be going macro with this, because every time he's thrown that Robo down, he has been very aggressive with it. This is kind of one of those situations where more than likely he has these builds prepared for each and every single map. And he's sticking to his game plan during all of this. Yeah, once again, we see that Twilight Council heading on down, so that will signal that this is probably another charge a lot all in for our Protoss player. Overlord once again getting picked off here. It is very imperative for Astrea that this does not get scouted, because if it is, you're going to have a lot of problems getting it to work. As we saw last time, the Roaches were able to get out in time to defend. This time Armani looking to get that same little bit of information, and actually just going to fly right by. And that's the cue Armani needed. He started that Roach Warren. He gets a couple more queens. Did he start the lair just yet? No, he has not. But that's not a really big deal for him right now. Just Overlord just gets full confirmation that this is once again charge lot opening. Astrea trying to hide it on the other side of his base, but no dice. Armani has all seeing eyes at this point. And so Astrea just says to heck with it. Want to see it? You can see it. Now it's going to have to come down to his response. How aggressively is he going to power up from all of this. He needs a lot of units, or else he is going to falter to the overwhelming amount of Protoss that's coming his way. It's a couple of cheeky shots off, not enough to kill these Lings. They're still hanging around. As he's going across the map, it's going to come down to the first couple of warp-ins to really make or break this push. I think he's going to try and get in once again, but they're just stuck on move command here. First warp-in is complete. Ravager Biles doing a good job of kind of forcing this push back for the time being, but this time Astrea hasn't lost a lot. Indeed, he does have a lot of time and a lot of energy left. We'll warp in here. A bit supply blocked at the time being. But this time it's kind of interesting the way he's doing this. He's splitting off his units, probably trying to go for a bit of a flank on the reinforcements. So we'll have to see, but that does mean his front push is a lot weaker. Those Zealots going down so quickly here, and these guys in the back, yeah, he realizes his mistake, and Armani is going to capitalize on that and send himself shooting into match point once again. Not once again, excuse me, this is the first time. But yeah, that was a bit of an interesting decision here. You saw that the Zealots in the back didn't really have the same, you know, they stopped for coffee, they were chatting it up, you know, they thought the battle didn't start till 3, they didn't understand that, you know, there was a sense of urgency. So, yeah, with that, I mean, we got to get, like, that push might not have been as powerful as he wanted, but you know what is powerful? The power of GameStop, which can elevate your game to the next level, especially with their new esports. With their new esports focus, they've got a lot of great activities for you guys to check out on their website, and all you got to do is head to the Matcherino page, and you add 50 cents to the prize pool by doing that, and just heading to the website from there. That's 50 cents going towards these players, and they need all the little bits of cash they can get. So check out the sponsor quests right there. And yeah, just support these players. Support Alpha X. They've been putting on some excellent showings here for all of you guys out here in chat. And I hope you guys have been really enjoying their content. I'm really proud I get to be a part of it. And you know what? I think these guys are going to be proud of this next game, because it's going to be Cyberforce once again. And we're going to be hopping right into game number 8. So without further ado, he is one game from victory. Spawning in the top, it is Black Knights. Straight Armani. Got it perfectly with the music that time. And his opponent, in the bottom, he needs 2 games to bring it back. It is our red Protoss for Alpha X, Astrea. So this time, will he try and go for the same kind of strategy? When you go for an all-in twice, it kind of signals that you might be getting a little bit tired, a little bit weary. So they're both going to have to push through that for this, which could be our final game of the night. But don't count it out. Don't count Astrea out just yet. Cyber Forest was a pretty good map for him. You know, Armani did go for a big all-in, and he did defend it right here on this battlefield. The question, however, will this be another big 2-base all-in from Armani? going to come down to what he wants to do. This time he is going to be throwing down that third base. It's again in Astrea. Actually sending out a cheeky little probe here. I don't think this guy is out for a nice little stroll. He's out here to cause some havoc. So what is it going to be, chat? Is it going to be DTs? Is it going to be Stargate? Whatever it's going to be, it is going to make an epic game. Got the Adept being a little bit supply blocked there. And it will be Stargate play on the other side of the map. So overall, Astrea looking to punch it home with a bit of a faster Oracle play. Yep's gonna come out as well, trying to catch his opponent off guard in the natural. Try and force some units to stay behind. But the game is starting to shape up. Gonna come in here, nice little shade, gonna make sure that nothing too much is going on here. Armani is gonna probably start to get a scout off on this if that Overlord stays on path. But it's gonna be a bit late here because the Oracle will be out in plenty of time. The Queens are pretty much all he has to defend at this time, but there's only one in the main. Instantly throws down a Spore Crawler, but that is not the reaction you want at this point. The Queens, though, doing an excellent job saving even one drone. No damage able to be done, but unfortunately down here they left it completely undefended, taking a little bit of mining time off and killing 3 drones. That's the kind of damage he wants, but he has to save the Oracle to make it worth it. He does with 3 HP to spare. Saving that Stargate as well as Astrea. Forcing the Oracles to expend some energy though, so they won't be able to go in to Armani's base. Overlord gonna get a nice little scout out. See, that is Twilight Council. Probably expects the Robo Bay as well. So he's just got to start preparing for the next stage here, and he will be getting those roaches with the lair, just setting himself up. One sec, guys, sorry. That's going to be coming in here trying to get a couple of drone pulls as well. So far getting 2 for their troubles. And we're actually going to be going into Archon drops as Astrea as his next stage. Getting that Templar Archives up. And he'll look to do a little bit of damage with this. The roaches are pretty nice for Armani. He will be able to kind of deflect it. But it's all going to come down to the juggling. It's going to take a lot of micro to make any of this work. And Armani doesn't even want to get to that point. He's going to just try and take out this War Prism. It's getting very low here. Loses a lot of HP on that, and that really reduces the effectiveness. Can't even warp in because Armani is just on top of him. Even the Queen's gonna take it out. Oh my gosh, that pick-off. That is almost a GG move, but not just yet. Because you do still have Archons, and you still have a lot of very scary army units for Astrea. But this harass was shut down completely. I think he lost one of the Oracles. He did indeed. Now Armani looking to answer for this. Trying to get some damage done of his own, but he does get picked off. Hasn't really been bleeding out drones this game either. He's been losing 1 or 2 here, but just instantly able to replenish those as quickly as possible. That being said, Astrea still has some gateway. The gateway is going up, looking to gear up for a pretty big push here. A lot of Archons, a lot of charge lots. This is gonna hit, I believe, around the time that charge is gonna be finishing up. He might want to chrono that out if he's gonna stay out here on the map. But yeah, he knows that he can't move out without that. Just gonna keep warping in as much as possible. Maybe even try and get a little bit of a drop going on here with this Warp Prism, but Armani is right outside his main base. Not main base, right outside his bases. It's gonna get scattered out by the Warp Prism. Oracle's still flying around as well, but Armani gonna stay on creep for right now. Has to be careful, does not want to lose a second one. Just gonna get out of there with half its HP. A lot of scratches on the paint. Question is, like, this is pretty much Astrea's attack to make. The question really comes down to, when is he going to pull the trigger on all of this? Oracle might want to get a couple of revelations down. Wasn't really paying attention. There we go. So now he will be able to keep tabs on this army. And for right now, he is just going to back up, try and defend the third that he thought was under attack. I think that was the Oracle going down. Armani gonna get that cheeky Nidus Worm. Once again, this is where he's got his big wins of the series. But he is gonna lose a lot of roaches with all of that. Can't really fight in this position, just needs to keep a concave at the top of the ramp. Force your opponent through such a narrow choke point. It's gonna drop it right there. This is scouted. And there will be enough zealots, but will they warp in time? It looks like they will. Gonna try and get a second one here, but bit too quick after the first. And now he is just gonna patrol right there, try and prevent that nice worm from going up. More little moves out of here, trying to make sure that his opponent is losing some mining time. And this game is just so even right now. Let's take a look at a couple of graphs. Income advantage hasn't really been on either side. Army size, it's been pretty even as well, but that might change as the Nice Worm is now just going to be used as a reinforcement point. Has to be careful that those force fields can't go too far up the ramp as Armani. He is almost completely maxed out here. Just sitting small groups of roaches trying to bait out those force fields. He doesn't really know that there are none left. But still, getting little bits of his army chopped away at. This is a very powerful Protoss force. Splash damage out the wazoo. Storm is not complete, however. So it is pretty much just a splash damage in these Archons. But the Immortals are just overpowering almost everything right now. That is the entire push of Armani. Pretty much forced back. And yeah, just the force fields doing a great job of keeping Astrea in it. And guess what, guys? We are in the last game of the night. It's going to be Armani's pick. And this series, like, there is just nothing you can say about it. These two are really duking it out. And you definitely are going to get the adrenaline running after this final game. And you know what you can do with that adrenaline? You can check out our sponsor, 24 Hour Fitness. Whether it is 2:27 in the morning or it's 3:30 in the afternoon, you can go at any time. 24 Hour Fitness is open, like the name suggests, 24 hours a day. So whether you're a late night bird or an all day Terran player, you can check out their awesome sponsorship deal, which you get a free 7-day pass to any of theirs just by going to their website on the Matcherino page. So check them on out. Add a little bit of money to the prize pool. Like I said, most of these things you get 30 cents, 50 cents added, and every little bit helps. You could do it from pretty much anywhere in the world. We got a lot of Korean fans out here cheering on Armani. So cheer him on a little bit longer with that Matcherino support, because if he wins this game, he wins the pot. Here we go. We're not even going to waste any more time. King's Cove for game number 9 of this best of 9, ladies and gentlemen. It is time. Spawning in the bottom position. He needs all your support. He needs all your cheers to close this out. It's Armani. His opponent in the top. He is looking to take on Korea first and then the world. It is Astrea. So I was kind of expecting these guys to go a bit crazy in the final game of the series, and it looks like Astrea is actually going to give us just that. Going to be going for that Nexus first kind of deal, so looking to play it very aggressively here in terms of that macro. And this is really risky, because we've seen Armani does have it in him to go for those very aggressive Ling all-ins. So if that wall isn't complete and those Lings start swarming in, Astrea is going to be in a lot of trouble for this last game. And you know, the last game is kind of the game you want to put your A game out in. Which, I mean, both of these guys are. They both start with A. And speaking of A's, Captain Canuck is doing a great job of adminning all of this as well, A. But Astrea is actually going to be the one being super aggressive with all of this. Proxy that pylon out on the map. And we'll have to see what he is going to do with all of that. He's got a bit of time before he can really throw down anything with it, as that cybernetics core has to finish up before he can. And yeah, I don't think Armani's really going to be thinking about this, scouting around. He hasn't really seen this. He doesn't really see the probe, where it goes. So this might blindside him if he's not careful. It's going to be a fast wargate research as well. So what is he going to throw down here? Probably either going to be another gateway, or actually he throws down the Stargate at home. So a bit interesting here. It looks like he just wanted it to complete the wall off. So behind this Stargate, he might actually be going for a very aggressive push with that pylon as the reinforcing point. But the Armani is going to beat him to the punch here. He's got 14 Lings on the way, and they are all going to be going straight for that wall off. Yeah, there's the second gateway. So if this doesn't work out for Armani, he is all in with this, looking to close it out. There is a force field there. and actually forces the Zealot to be on the wrong side. Wants to chrono out that warp gate, I feel like. Otherwise, he's going to be in a world of hurt. Going to be going for Void Race behind all of this, but it's all just a question of whether it actually comes out or not. These Lings getting some good surface area on all of these buildings. Void Ray does go down, and will the warp gate finish this time? Once again, it is denied. Gonna eck out a couple more drones is Armani. He's down heavily in this, so if this does not work, he is gonna be in a lot of trouble. Actually scouts the pylon there with his reinforcing army. The wall's starting to crumble quite heavily. There's no immortals this time, and those were the saving grace of the last game that he all-in'd on. Shield battery on the wrong side of the wall as well. Armani, you absolute demon of a player. He is breaking through, forcing Astrea to take a lot, and I mean a lot, of minimal income damage. So far he's just forced all of this to come out. I don't think there actually is another Cybernetics Core just yet. He just now throws it down, so Warp Gate is going to be off the way for a very long time. Behind this though, he is droning up. He's actually gone up to 40 workers during all of this, so what I thought was an all-in for a little bit actually is going to turn into a bit of a macro game here with Astrea stuck on 2 bases. Going up to lair behind all of this. Warp Gate. Gonna go down here. The Phoenix is a fake. It's not really gonna get anything done here. And Astrea going for a bit of a desperation move here for Stargate at the same time. Oh gosh, this is not looking good for him, and he knows it. He's going for pretty much the Hail Mary here with it. And behind this, Armani just keeping a very close tab on everything that is happening here. These guys might not be long for this world if they're not careful. So it's going to be 4 Phoenix at a time trying to get back into this game. The Lings going to get the full wraparound, even go straight into the main base. Force field going to catch a lot of them, but still those probes are going to start falling in rapid amount of numbers. 10 workers going down with that run by. Very worth it for Armani. Wants to get a couple of more here, as well as seeing the fact that there are 4 Stargates on the field for him. He sees the Phoenix. He knows that they're there now, and he can react accordingly just because of that. Now Astrea actually going to be going for that robo facility behind all of this. I just can't say I like that move, because the fact is he spent so much going for that Stargate play that the fact that he's not getting anything with it now makes it a bit of a wasted investment. Especially since it looks like he's going to be gearing up for a big attack here pretty soon off of the back of that all-in. Nidus Swarm is very nice as well, though. It's going to allow those reinforcing armies, and the fact that the big thing about Hydralisks is they outrange Sentry force fields. So as long as he keeps that high ground vision, he will be able to stop those. Will be able to kill off those force fields. It just has to remember not to get caught here, and you can see they're outpacing him, and that is gonna be it. The Swarm Armani has prevailed. GG, ladies and gentlemen. He defends Korea once again from the GSL wannabe. And that is gonna be it for tonight for us, ladies and gentlemen. So we'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. I've been Passer. If you want to check me out, you can check out my Twitter below. But congratulations to Armani and congratulations to Astrea, just bringing us some amazing games there. And I hope you guys have a wonderful night wherever you are in the world, or a wonderful day, depending on that. Make sure to check out our sponsors. Pardon me. Check out our sponsors on the Matcherino page. You can still add money to the prize pool that way. And yeah, every little bit helps them out. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you at the next big event.